Did you know that there are a set of numbers that quietly yet accurately determine whether someone will end up wealthy or not? They're not the numbers people flaunt, and they don't show up on a paycheck. These are almost like behavioral indicators, subtle but immensely powerful, far more predictive than income, age, or job title, revealing someone's financial future decades before the results become obvious. Most people overlook them completely, but once you see what they really signal, you can spot who's on the path to wealth long before it becomes visible to the outside world. Before we talk about which factors almost guarantee whether you'll be wealthy or not, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Understanding these ideas could change your life. When financial professionals evaluate someone's movement towards true financial freedom, there's one number they look at first: how much money they keep. This single metric predicts long-term wealth far more reliably than income, job title, or even education level. People fixate on income because it's visible and easy to compare, but whether someone earns $50, $150, or $500,000 tells you almost nothing about how wealthy they'll become. The real question is simple: how much do they save and invest every month? Wealth is not about how much flows in, it's about how much stays. Think of savings as a seed, and think of time as the multiplier. Every dollar you don't spend is a dollar that can grow into 5, 10, or 20 times its original value. That's why people with modest incomes who are disciplined can quietly build wealth, while high earners who overspend remain trapped. A bigger paycheck only helps if the behavior behind it is disciplined. Otherwise, income becomes irrelevant. The people who actually end up wealthy don't fixate on income at all. Many couldn't even tell you their exact salary. What they track carefully, though quietly, is how fast their net worth grows. That's the real scoreboard. Income doesn't impress them because what matters is their overall wealth. Growth signals discipline, patience, and foresight. And those are what separate those who accumulate true wealth from those who merely chase paychecks. If you want a crystal clear predictor of long-term wealth, watch what happens when someone's income rises. The gap between income growth and lifestyle growth is one of the clearest indicators of who will achieve financial independence, and most people never even notice it. Imagine you get a 20% raise. Most people spend it immediately. Apartments get upgraded, wardrobes get refreshed, vacations get fancier, and cars get newer. On paper, you're earning more, but your financial foundation barely moves because every extra dollar disappears into lifestyle inflation. Even worse, that higher lifestyle now becomes permanent. You'll need a much larger retirement fund just to maintain the same standard of living. Now imagine someone else with the same raise but only increasing lifestyle by 5%. Maybe a small upgrade here or there, a minor treat, but the rest goes straight into investments. Increase spending by 10%? Still, half the raise compounds. Increase by nothing? The full 20% is building wealth. And here's where the truth hits harder than most people admit. The gap isn't just math, it's behavior. It exposes mindset and discipline. It shows who can delay gratification, who resists the instinct to upgrade everything the moment they can afford it, and who understands that long-term security outweighs short-term comfort. Every paycheck becomes a test, and the choices you make reveal whether you think like someone who builds lasting wealth or someone trapped in a cycle of temporary satisfaction. Those who let lifestyle rise with every income jump almost always end up struggling later. Income climbs, but net worth doesn't. Decades pass, and suddenly the question arises: how am I supposed to retire? Meanwhile, peers who are more disciplined with their raises are financially free, often living on much less while enjoying far more security. A straightforward way to see someone's financial health is to measure their savings against income. The results are startling. Federal Reserve data shows the typical household has only about 1 times their income saved, and even by retirement, many barely reach 2 times. For anyone hoping to maintain their lifestyle after leaving work, this isn't just risky, it's nearly a guarantee of stress, compromise, and unexpected setbacks. Imagine reaching 65 and realizing your safety net barely covers a few years of living expenses. A simple benchmark gives perspective: roughly 1 times income saved by age 30, 3 times by 40, 6 times by 50, and 8 times by 60. These are recommendations by Fidelity. They come from decades of research on households that retire comfortably. The truly prepared aim for even higher, building 25 times their annual income, or more accurately, 25 times their annual spending. That allows for a conservative 4% safe withdrawal rate, providing freedom without the constant fear that money will run out. Think of it like planting a tree. The earlier and more carefully you nurture it, the bigger the shade decades later. Falling behind? That's the earliest warning sign of financial trouble, a glimpse into stress, compromises, and what-if regrets. Watching this trend is like reading a hidden roadmap to wealth. Almost everyone has heard, start investing early, but very few grasp the magnitude of this principle. Most understand it in theory, but fail to implement it. The truth is simple. Time is the most powerful variable in building wealth. Everyone knows that small contributions in your 20s can outperform massive contributions decades later. The longer your money has to grow, the greater the compounding effect. Early contributions are amplified over decades, quietly multiplying, while later investments must play catch-up. But early investing signals something even deeper than dollars. It demonstrates mindset. Opening a Roth IRA at 23 or setting up an automatic investment at 25, even if it's just $50 per month, it shows the ability to think beyond the next paycheck. These traits, consistent planning, restraint, and long-term thinking, are requirements for financial success and are far better predictors than income. Now consider this. The S&P 500 historically doubles approximately every 7 years. Starting early doesn't just create 1 or 2 doubles, you could see 4, 5, or 6. That small $100 monthly habit in your 20s can snowball into a fortune by midlife. A person starting in their 40s might need to contribute 4 or 5 times as much just to keep up. Time is a variable money can't replace, and most people don't even realize it until it's too late. This is one of the most overlooked and critically important metrics, yet virtually no one talks about it. How much of what you own is actually growing in value and how much is guaranteed to shrink? Ignoring this metric can quietly sabotage decades of progress. Vehicles are the most obvious example. They're usually the largest depreciating item most people own. They lose roughly 15% of their value each year. That means $100,000 in cars is $15,000 evaporating annually. Gone, not invested, not earned. That level of depreciation can completely erase gains from a 6-figure investment portfolio. This is why many advisors recommend keeping vehicles under 5 to 10% of total net worth. So if your net worth is $100,000, a $10,000 vehicle is reasonable. Beyond that, the math gets a little tricky because options are limited. As net worth grows, the rule scales efficiently. $250,000, vehicles under $25,000. $500,000, under $50,000. Dave Ramsey uses an income-based approach. The total value of all vehicles you own shouldn't exceed more than half your annual income. This is fine in the beginning, but the other option is more relevant as your finances progress. The pattern is unmistakable. Those who invest heavily in depreciating assets struggle to build momentum. Those who allocate more towards appreciating assets, index funds, retirement accounts, Bitcoin, gold, and real estate, move steadily upward. It's not about deprivation, it's about direction. If the bulk of your net worth appreciates, your financial life moves forward. It's like the wind is blowing at your back. If it depreciates, your life becomes a treadmill, a lot of motion, but very little progress. If you're in favorable shape across these indicators, your savings rate is strong, your lifestyle isn't growing faster than your income, you began investing early, and most of your net worth is in appreciating assets, congratulations. You're not just following advice, you're operating in the pattern that predicts financial independence decades in advance. These are not ideas or suggestions. They are real markers that determine wealth long before bank accounts show it. Keep at it consistently, and the long-term results are almost inevitable.